The following episode of the Comics and Crypto podcast is for informational purposes only, and anything expressed by the hosts or their guests is solely their opinion. This podcast does not constitute financial advice, and anyone wishing to invest should seek their own independent financial or professional help. Have fun and enjoy the show.
Hi, I'm Sean O'Hare, and I know comics.
Hi, I'm Spencer Vogel, and I know crypto.
Hi, I'm Kevin Lee Loader, and I don't know shit. This is the Comics and Crypto podcast.
Comics and crypto, crypto and comics, collectors world in a digital age. Comics and crypto, crypto and comics, it's where the next billionaires will be made. It's comics and crypto.
Hey, what's up, Remy?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for having me on. Excited to be here.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. So just to kick it off, why don't you introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself and what your role is at Oddkey.
Yeah, for sure. So my name is Remy, and I am the content and cafe manager at Oddkey. So it's kind of my job to make sure that there's a streamline of information and content coming from the team to the community, just to make sure that process is all smooth. And I also run a lot of the events in Discord and in person to make sure, just the community's engaged and there's always something going on for the community to do. That's kind of my role.
Nice.
Yeah,
Love
for
it.
everyone out there, I met Remy at San Diego Comic-Con with the Oddkey event, and it was
That was a lot of
amazing.
fun.
One of the best events I've ever been to.
Very special. I'm so glad we got to put that on.
So Remy, can you tell us a little bit about Oddkey? Kind of
Yeah.
what the company's like, its history, everything you guys have been building.
Yeah, absolutely. So Oddkey is a digital collectibles marketplace created by Todd McFarlane and Steve Aoki. It's kind of the same realm of Image Comics in the sense that they wanted to provide a platform for artists to really have creative control over their art. But over time, eventually it grew into more of a community platform, place for artists, the collectors and fans to connect, to bring together. We like to really, all the artists that we feature, we like to bring into the Discord and interact with the community and really get the community involved and get them actually communicating and talking with these artists that they've been fans of for so long. So it's really grown into more of a artist community platform. At its core, it's a digital collectibles marketplace.
Who are some of the other artists that you've had besides Todd and Steve?
Actually, currently right now, it's only been Todd and Steve through oddkey.com, but there's a whole reward system we like to do where other artists like Jason Sean Alexander, he recently just came into the Discord, did a live drawing while talking to the community, and we auctioned that off to the community as a one-of-one collectible. So there's been other artists that have been interested, but as far as like through oddkey.com, it's only been Todd and Steve so far, but there's definitely plans to bring more people on.
It's a platform for artists built by artists, which is like,
Yeah.
You can't get any better than that in
Exactly.
Web3, right?
Yeah.
That's the name of the game.
So out of curiosity, how involved are Todd McFarlane and Steve Aoki?
So Steve is pretty busy with other projects. I know he wants to get more involved. He's definitely plans on releasing more content and more collaborations with Todd, but Todd is actually really engaged with the community. We do every Friday night, we host events in the Discord, like stages. And very often Todd will come in and chat and hang out with the community.
Yeah, I popped in a couple times when he's been in there. Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
cool that he just jumps in and does that. Yeah.
Todd loves to hop in and just interact with fans. It's really a place because, at these physical events, San Diego Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, people from all over the world can't really come. And the beauty about Web3 is that there's no borders, there's no boundaries. I mean, not just Web3, the digital, anything on technology, really. So it's a great place for Todd to interact with those fans who never really had the chance to go to these in-person events and meet him. And there's been some really special, like one-on-one communications and just interactions between Todd and fans in the Discord. He joins a lot. He's in there quite a bit.
Yeah, and I can only imagine, and especially in person, at the Oddkey event, he just goes up and just talks to people and engages. The best way to describe Todd is that he's just a curious person.
Yeah.
He is a very curious person, and he loves to talk to people, and he's very genuine. And it's the beautiful combination for somebody of his success, And
he loves to talk, dude. That man is a bucket full of stories.
Yeah.
If you let him talk forever, he will. That's for sure.
I've never done a live video on Instagram until the Oddkey event in San Diego Comic-Con when he was telling all the stories. I'm like, I have to record this. This is unbelievable.
Yeah.
This is one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
And there's so many stories that he tells that you'll never hear anywhere else. And sometimes we'll be in Discord and he's just talking and someone will ask a random question and he goes off on a tangent about something you've never heard of. And you're like, wow. And you really get to see the thought process and how Todd's like mentality works. And it's just inspiring for sure.
We were at the McFarlane Toys event at New York Comic-Con, and he was just there roaming around the party doing his thing, and I was nervous. I was like, I don't want to go up and bother him. I don't want to talk to him. Like, I don't know, he's doing his thing, and And then, lo and behold, like, towards the end of the night, he just like walked up. He's like, "Hey, we haven't talked yet. What's your name?" And just like,
Yeah.
I'm like, what the
I
hell?
love
Like,
it.
yeah, and
Yeah.
That's
we
awesome.
talked, and he was so genuine and easy to talk to, and like genuinely interested. Yeah, just it's such a great experience getting to meet him.
Oh yeah, I mean, Todd's a great guy. If y'all never met him, listening,
Yeah.
highly
Yeah.
recommend meeting him.
Speaking of which, at the McFarlane Toys event, they actually announced McFarlane Digital, which is really exciting. And we've actually had Trevor Dietz on our podcast, which was really amazing. He talked about McFarlane Digital and the plans that they have for the future. And I was curious, how does Oddkey going to fit into McFarlane Digital?
Yeah, so I would say that obviously McFarlane Toys Digital is on Polygon and Oddkey is on the Solana blockchain. So at the end of the day, the bridge between that is going to take some time. But I know for certain Todd is very dedicated to keeping his community and his fans as integrated as possible. So actually recently, instead of the Oddkey Discord server, it is now the McFarlane Digital Community Discord server.
Very interesting. I was like, I definitely gotta ask Remy about that. Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So we're trying to provide a place where, I mean, at the end of the day, we're all McFarlane fans, we're all collecting fans, we're all nerds, right? And so we don't want to split the community. So we just put it all under the same umbrella, McFarlane Digital Community. There's always going to be aspirations to get them as combined as possible. I mean, recently we did a cool little airdrop collectible for those people who have been loyal for the past year. And
I gotta check my wallet.
And for people who received that, yeah, I mean, if you think you deserve one, open a ticket. But people who receive that will actually get an airdrop from McFarlane Toys Digital for their collectibles, right? So there's going to be integrations, always cross collabs. We just want to make sure the community is combined, which is why we put it all under one Discord. At the end of the day, they are two separate projects. McFarlane Toys is obviously dealing with his digital and physical toys. Oddkey is more, artist-based, unique collectibles. There may be a physical toy side eventually, who knows? But, it's more so just working on the digital aspect, while McFarlane Toys is just McFarlane Toys. Oddkey is kind of everything else.
So you mentioned that we're all nerds, we're all collectors here. I'm curious, are you a collector? What are some of the things you collect?
Of course. I mean, I grew up collecting Pokemon cards, Magic the Gathering. I'm really getting into Spawn now, so I got quite the Todd McFarlane collection going.
Nice.
But yeah, I'd say Pokemon is probably my number one for sure. What about you guys? Big
Nice.
I know you guys are collectors.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up on some Pokemon, but mostly Yu-Gi-Oh. That was my big thing growing up. Loved Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And then now it's comic books, NFTs, everything in between. Yeah.
I'm a big digital collector fan now, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I grew up with baseball cards, and man, I used to just be obsessed with Beckett. And it's funny because I didn't realize at the time, but I was investing and speculating on players and buying the rookie cards and then selling them and flipping them. And I was like 8, 9 years old. I didn't realize what I was doing at the time until I got involved in comic books, and that passion that I had as a kid kind of was reignited.
That's
and
awesome.
Now I'm just all, man, we're doing created VHS tapes and created video games. We're doing everything.
Collecting, everyone wants to collect something.
It's a massive market. It's exciting. Yeah, it's exciting. Yeah.
Collecting the craziest things for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I do appreciate about the digital collecting is that you don't actually have to have physical space for it. And I'm a very nomadic person. I'm constantly moving around, so it's hard for me to bring my physical collectibles with me. So I like being able to just have them on my phone and bring them with me wherever I go.
100%.
I know, that's the best too. I feel like it's super underestimated, the physical to digital, because man, having it just on your phone where you can flex your collection instead of having to lug around your big collection, you can't show it off at somewhere. There's benefits, pros and cons.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I'm excited when the technology catches up too, so people can actually enjoy them in the physical world. That's going to be really exciting, because that's when people are going to realize, oh, okay, you're saying I can enjoy this and without just having it on my phone. I get that. I can put that up on my wall. Oh, okay, I get that. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. We're starting to see some cool technology with like that, like HoloFan and all these other ones are being able to put like your digital art in the physical world, and it's really cool to see.
Yeah. We're seeing kind of teases on that on VEVE. They're using augmented reality. You can put up on the walls, and just a tease of where all this is going.
AR technology is going to be huge. I know Niantic, Lightship Dev AR, a year ago, they released a dev kit where you can geolocate AR digital collectibles, and so when you turn your phone off and then you turn it back on, it's still there in your room. So you can set up a whole digital display.
Wow,
that's gonna be
exactly,
crazy.
and that's the things I love. That's the things I'm really excited about. I mean, if you take that even further, you could potentially even do, NFT treasure hunts. Like they had one recently. There was a guy, I don't know if you guys know about this. There was a guy that had a treasure chest for like 20 years full of gold. And for 20 years, people were trying to find out where this was. He left some clues. It was like the real life, Ready Player One treasure hunt.
Yeah.
And somebody recently found it. They actually found it, and it was over like $1
Wow.
million or a couple $1 million worth of gold. Now, it obviously the value went up over time
Yeah.
because he didn't touch the chest, but somebody actually found it. But that's the kind of stuff you can do with NFTs, right? It's super
Yeah.
exciting and fun.
I know.
Yeah.
Ready Player One was obviously, it's like one of my favorite books of all time. So
Mhm.
that's what we're all dreaming of for sure.
Yeah. So I guess, like, speaking of things that you can actually do with your collectibles, what are some of the current utilities that you guys have for the collectibles on Oddkey? And I know you guys have some staking, and Sean,
Yeah.
so the in-person events you've done.
So we have a reward system. It's called OCT, or Oddkey Community Tokens. I would think of these as like arcade tickets. You come participate in our ecosystem. Now you can get these through staking, but we also host like trivia nights or treasure hunts or other events where you can earn OCT. And then we offer like exclusive collectibles in OCT only. So for instance, Todd actually came into the Discord once and did a live drawing. He created a whole new character and went through his thought process, what he was thinking. He took community feedback, and then we auctioned that off as a one-of-one digital collectible for OCT only. There was no other way to get it besides OCT. We did the same thing with Jason Sean Alexander, where that's OCT only. The Headless Gunslinger, we just did 100 Headless Gunslingers, which is like a 3D collectible that's interactable in your wallet. So you can actually, you don't need to connect your wallet to a centralized platform in order to view it. You can actually view it in your wallet, and any other 3D viewport that supports the Solana chain. I mean, there's a bunch out there. You can put it and upload it there and actually view it. And those were we had 70 of those allocated to OCT only. And we really plan on continuing doing like OCT limited exclusive stuff, to where basically if you're in the community, you only have access to get these really exclusive digital collectibles.
Wow. So can you buy OCT, or can you only earn it?
You can only earn it.
Gotcha.
Love that.
So you really actually truly have to be a participant in the community to be able to get involved in those drops. That's really, really cool.
And also, like, the staking system is obviously the best way to generate OCT. All Oddkey collectibles can be staked, and we also do POAPs. So we don't want to pay. We don't want you guys to have to pay to be in our community. The whole point of this is to just have fun, be a community of collectors, engage, talk to one another, talk to your favorite artists. So if you attend our events and you meet the requirements, we do monthly POAPs where it's kind of a free airdrop, and it represents kind of what we've done in that month. So there'll be some unique symbolism on the POAPs to that month in particular. So if you went to the events, you'll know what they mean. And all those POAPs are stakeable for OCT as well. We did the same thing with those anniversary POAPs. So we made a nice like 3D collectible, and it's actually a caked pin, to where hopefully we will get the physicals out.
Oh, cool.
Nice little caked pin to all the people who are in that as well.
That's so cool. Going to the Oddkey event in San Diego was the first in-person event you guys hosted.
Yeah.
And we got some POAPs. You guys are giving out POAPs there as well. And some of the people I've met there, actually, I've stayed in touch with. We're I guess we're good friends now as well, because of the people I met in the community, which is really amazing. And he sent me, I didn't know you could do this, but he sent off the badge that was signed by Todd. Yeah, that one. There it is.
Yeah,
nice.
those badges. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly
badges.
that one. So those badges, so keep that safe and get it graded, because that's amazing. I love getting things graded, even just for my collection. And he sent them off and got them graded and
I know,
authenticated.
you sent me
that
that.
is so cool. Yeah,
No, I didn't think
I'm doing that now too.
Graded. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I'm doing that too. That's amazing.
Is it through PSA that does that?
PSA, yeah,
PSA,
and they
nice.
authenticate the signature and everything. And yeah, that event, man, was just a blast. I mean, you guys and Jake, you guys killed it. Big shout out to Jake.
So what does the roadmap look like for the future for Oddkey?
The roadmap. That's a good question. I know that Todd plans on continuously releasing covers. We got the Spawn 300 animated cover coming up, and he wants to continue releasing his drops. I know he wants to bring other artists in. I know Steve Aoki plans on doing his drops. The event collectibles, that's something that will continue to go on. So those OCT rewards, exclusive collectibles, that'll continue. It's hard to predict where the space is going to go, just because we all know Web3. It's crazy. Yeah. Something like that could happen overnight, to where there's an opportunity here and we take that. You know what I mean? So we're just always going to keep our heads down, keep grinding, and provide the most value to our community we can possibly can.
And hearing Todd at the Oddkey event talk about how special signatures are for him. I mean, even just on the physical side, I mean, just his own personal story about how he created his signature, and how it really it's yeah. If everyone out there who doesn't know, it's such a good story. I'll tell our audience again. Todd McFarlane, he went to a comic book signing at a younger age and wanted to get his comic book signed by an artist, and the artist signed it, but it wasn't the same signature as it was in the comic book. And he said, "This doesn't match." He says, "Well, that's not my real signature. This is my real signature," and that always stuck with him. and he just didn't like that inconsistency. So it was important for him to make sure that he created something that was consistent.
Yep.
And I mean, in my opinion, he is the best signature of all time. I mean, like,
it's very
hands
clear. It's very obvious whose it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's so cool. Spencer also owns a King Spawn comic. So
Nice.
that was,
Yeah.
he got that about a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a super cool comic. They so supposedly the story when they were doing that and going through the signings on that one. So as Todd was going through any book that he saw that he didn't think would have been potentially a 9/8 grade. So if he saw any kind of blemish, any kind of bending in the pages, any kind of scratch to the paint, anything, he would just toss the book out and he said, "I'm not signing that one." So literally of all of the, I think there's like about like 1,600. He basically only signed the ones that he thought were like 9.8 because he's like, I want my collectors to have the best possible.
That's awesome. He's very adamant about like what his collectors like the secondary market, which is, I mean, it's very important in Web3.
Yeah.
A whole different world because you have to worry about the secondary market. You have to worry about your collectors.
The attention to detail and love and respect he has for his fans. That's such a big deal. Been blessed being able to see that twice in person, you know, and
It was really special getting to see that. And telling him his stories about how rare his sketches are to where he barely does, like he hasn't done a sketch since like the 90s. And that Venom sketch that he did at that in-person event was like one of the first ones he's done in so long.
Dude,
and now we're getting sketches on the blockchain that he rarely ever does. But some of the sketches, if you'll see in the animation, they're like, oh wow.
It was such a blessing to watch him just draw that 20 minutes drawing that thing and just focus completely. And I was standing next to the winner, and it was so cool hearing his name because he was an awesome guy. He was a comic book shop owner, and he was almost in tears, man. Like that meant so much to him. It was really
Zombie
special.
Unicorn, he deserved it. Yeah.
He's an awesome guy. Big shout to him. He's a great guy. And it was so funny. And what I love about Todd too, how he announced that he's never sold any of his artwork past 1992. He knows the value of his art, you know, and even right here, he's like, this thing could probably buy you guys a car, like probably a used car, but a car.
he's like, if I were you guys, I'd put this on eBay right now. And then people
so Todd.
Exactly.
That's so funny.
And it was, I mean, watching him draw live, watching a lot of these artists draw live. I mean, that's what's cool about these live drawings we do in Discord. They'll go through their thought process. And I mean, Jason Sean spent probably 2-3 hours in Discord just talking to the community, answering questions, and drawing a new character that you got to hear their thought process about what that actually goes into it and like their inspirations and all that. So there's a really personal connection that you can get while watching an artist draw. And I mean, you sharing your screen in Discord is unique. It's been awesome.
Yeah, man, that's amazing. Seeing what you guys are doing in person and both online. I mean, it's really special. You guys are growing a really special company. You have a really special community.
That's it. Our community, I gotta say, I love them. They're their best community. I mean, they're so supportive and they love talking all the time. Every day they're talking about random things. And you know, it's not always comics and collecting, but at the end of the day, it's still a community of people who have like-minded interests. And why not hop into Discord and chat with some buddies online for a little bit? And it's really been getting personal over time as Oddkey's grown. It's just, you know, the community's grown, but that personal feeling is still there, which is awesome.
I participated in all the drops so far and plan on continuing to participate.
Hell yeah.
So super excited about everything you guys got going on for the future.
Now it's McFarlane digital community. So if you're involved in McFarlane toys, or it's all one community and we all want to, you know, we're all trying to help each other out at the end of the day. So definitely just want to see you guys in the Discord. Come say hi. Would love to chat.
Sure.
And if there's questions and stuff, Oddkey has a YouTube channel where there's a lot of like informational and instructional guides. If you're new to the Solana blockchain or you're, you know, not necessarily familiar with what the project's all about, there's a lot of guides on the YouTube channel you can go watch to kind of get educated.
I love that. And we'll make sure everyone out there listening, we'll make sure to include those links down in the details below. So make sure to follow them on all their socials. I strongly suggest it, guys, because this is one special community.
Appreciate that.
Thanks so much for coming on, Remy.
Thank you guys for having me. Shout out Comics and Crypto. I love your guys' intro. It's lit.
Thank you.
Big shout to NineFinger. Yeah.
Yeah.